Hey, my creative friends. My name is Shannon from shannonstudio.com. You can see all my work there, what I do, all my little flowers. And here we talk about a creative life. We talk about creative life tips. We talk a little bit about Sweden because I'm living in Sweden. We talk a little bit about the slow season, coronavirus isolation. So we talk about things that help us to use creativity, be more creative, and just generally receive those benefits that come from the creative process. So, I showered and got ready just for you guys because I didn't even brush my hair until 7 o'clock tonight. Nice. So I thought little red lipstick. Hey, Trisha. So just felt like getting dressed up for you guys, for me too, so we can talk. And the whole thing about getting ready is that you feel good about how you look. You don't have to worry about what other people. It's like I heard a talk one time from a woman leader in our church, and she said basically, get ready, spend the time. I know I look fancy. hey, boyfriend. So she said, take care of your looks and do your thing. Make yourself as nice and presentable as you want. And then when you step outside, don't worry about your looks again. And I find that is a great piece of advice. Great. It puts everything in balance. Like, take care of yourself, but then don't worry about yourself. So I really like that, and it kind of just sums up how I view it as well. So let's see. Today I turned in my fabric collection. Now, I was excited before when I turned it in the first time. I think I was more excited because I actually got it done, and there were some good designs in it. And so, but then if you followed along, you know that they didn't accept it. They had a lot of questions about it, which were valid. So I went and reworked it, and I'm excited again. So I'm hoping that the excitement is for reals this time. I do think it's a solid collection. I kind of did not try to go in a lot of different directions, and so I feel super good about it. I just turned it in today. I probably won't hear anything for a little while. They're all working remotely, so I don't know if they just will send it to each other or how they'll go about doing it. But I'll probably hear later on. This maybe next week, late next week probably. So I will let you know if we have another round to go through. So you get the real life process of the fabric collection. So second, today I got a gift delivered to my door, and it is this cute little... So I was just going to show you this, but I forgot I was just going to show you this. And then you look and you have these little green wellies, and I just laughed when I saw this. And her name is Ella, and I'm calling her Ella Ann because Ann is the one who gave it to me. So, are these just not the cutest little... It just makes me happy. And she got her one because she was talking about how she needed something happy. And we talked about this yesterday. That was what spurred the conversation. And it was when she came and brought it, and she didn't stay because, we're isolating and we're staying separate as much as possible. So I came in and, opened it up, and I just was so tickled, and I laughed out loud, and I clapped my hands, and it was just this fun thing. Now, the ironic thing is that I was actually writing up, because my next collection, the fabric collection, is about friendship. It's about, your best friend. And so I was writing up the details of the story to go with the fabric collection. And so I was writing about friendship. And then here she brings something just in a genuine friendship, an expression of friendship. And it was just like, this is how we're supposed to feel. Not that we have to give gifts for each other, but that we feel that connection and that shared experience. And so then I text her and she texted back, and we had a little moment that way. And it's just, that connection. Now, when we have isolation like we have a problem. So first off, Julianne Holt-Lundstand says one of the strongest stressors is unpredictability. And we are in an unpredictable situation like nobody's business. And we're not just in it just in small pockets. It's worldwide. So we have a world in stress. So she also continues to say, I also know one of the best ways to deal with stress is through social support. And it kind of goes back to that being friends. I mean, that's one of the easiest ways, is to get to know people, have conversation, and become friends. And we know also that you can be lonely in a room full of people. And I know that because Alan, my husband, would go away for a month and be home for a month because he worked on an oil rig. So he would be gone, and I would go to activities and stuff like that, but I was still lonely even when I went to the activities, which it just was really weird to me that was the case. And that's because we have an intimate relationship, and nobody, our relationship is not like anybody else. And I know lots of logical reasons why, but it just surprised me to go to things and be in rooms full of people and not just have that emptiness still there. So we know, and people, Robin Williams comes to mind, that have people around them, but they don't feel connected. They don't feel connected to people or a person, or they don't, not even one, let alone several. So we have to realize that and kind of watch for those kinds of signs in ourselves and in other people. So let's see. One of the podcasts I listened from the Happiness Lab. She's new, and you can find this it's about shared experiences. She, Dr. Santos is her name. And she was talking to somebody about, when interviewing a guest, and talking about the fact that our experiences are amplified. They're enhanced when they're shared with another person. And so they did studies like eating chocolate. If you ate chocolate next to another person that wasn't eating chocolate, you didn't have as good of an experience when they did the study. They had somebody eat chocolate next to somebody else who's eating chocolate. They had the same chocolates, and the person, they did it a couple times, the person would have a better experience if somebody else was doing the same thing. And they found that it's just not the same when somebody else is doing something. Even if you're in the same room and somebody else is doing something different, it's not the same as if you're doing it together. And when I heard that, I thought about kids. How many times do kids want your attention? And they also did another study with kids that talked about they would show something to the kids, and then the kids would, tap their mom to look. And this happens all the time. Tap their mom to look, and the mom would either look at the child in the, eye contact, then look at the thing, or just look at the thing and skip the eye contact. And when you skipped the eye contact, the kids were not as engaged and not as it wasn't as positive of an experience. And that is so true about the eye contact, about looking each other in the eyes, getting face to face and seeing, because we see a lot when we're looking at each other in the eyes. So to feel that social support, you have to be engaged when you're around the people. So talk to them, look them in the eye, have stories, have connections. Then another thing is that she also says we have robust evidence now of long-term negative health effects of being socially isolated and loneliness. And so first off, there's a bunch is what that unscientific word, unscientific view robust evidence, a bunch of, that it's loneliness and isolation, which we are asked to do right now. We're asked to do that. And there's lots of people who don't even have people around. I mean, I know several just off the top of my head who don't have people around to isolate with. I mean, some people might wish they didn't have anybody to isolate with. I don't know. I'm not going to go there. But there's some people who don't have anybody. So there's negative health effects from that. And so we have to be aware of that for our social circle and for ourselves. If we're one of those ones who are by ourselves a lot, we need to really take note of that. Hey, Rose. She goes on to say, conversely, so we know the negative effects. Conversely, the protective effects of being socially connected. What my research has also shown is that when we looked across a myriad of ways in which we can connect to people socially, perception of support increases odds of survival by 35%. So perception of support, and I thought that was really interesting. And I'll read more of her quote, but I just want to stop because the perception, and there's a couple things about that perception. Sometimes we can do things that don't connect with that person because they don't perceive it as really connecting, as really being something that's good or in their, really for them. You're doing it for yourself. So that's one side. And then the other side is you probably have to do really not very much as long as it's sincere and small. It can be small, but it doesn't have to be this grand gesture. It can be a small gesture as long as it's sincere and it's felt, it's perceived as support. So I thought that was so interesting because something that's just perceived, even if we're clumsy at it, even if we're awkward, even if we don't say or do the right thing, if there's intent that can be felt that you really care, that's a perception that you're trying to be supportive. And that's odds of survival is 35%. So she says, so what that suggests is that even the mere perception of the availability of support can really go a long way in helping not only our emotional well-being, but our physical health. So she's saying it can go, if you can show you're available, like even if if you say, if you need something, call me, and really look them in the eye, talk, or in your voice, if you're not doing any video thing, let your feelings come across to them that you really do care. So really do call me. Some other little things you can do for support: phone calls, dropping off supplies or gifts like my little Wellington guy, notes on the door, video message, any other social messaging. I've gotten lots of little messages from people who I used to talk to a lot when I was back home or engaged with on a regular basis back home, but here I haven't really talked to them that much, but I'm getting little messages just because we're all kind of reaching out. She suggested, I think it was her, maybe it's another one that suggested this. This was Julianne Holt-Lundstand. Online clubs, start something, but I'd say don't even start something. She says start an online book club or something. I said, and I'm thinking, you don't have to start anything. There are, I would say, just off the top of my head, I've seen 20 new groups, creative groups, things to do. Everybody's popping up with new things to do. And from clay and painting and music and in fact, I was listening to Victor, a man that we knew when we were first married, and Victor Thompson, and he shared a story on his video. He's Polynesian from Samoa. His parents are from Samoa, and he was having health crisis. And he was struggling, and the doctor said, you need to lower your stress or you're going to go blind. And so he picked up his ukulele, and so he now gets on there and sings and shares, songs and stories, and it's just really relaxed him, taking that creativeness and doing something. And it, I saw the comments and how many people saw the video, and they're just, having this little, he's used that, and it's not something you can prescribe. Like the doctor can say, go get your ukulele and sing some songs and tell some stories and put it online. I mean, a doctor maybe could do that, but that's not likely. We have to see what's needful for us, and we're all unique, and we all have different gifts and talents and abilities and perceptions ourselves, that we can just figure out what we want to do. What do you like to do? Find something you like and connect with those people. So you don't have to go out and do a club. Just find some of the things that are out there. Another thing is service opportunities. Obviously, there's lots of service out there, and service isn't just going and cleaning somebody's house. Service happens to be service is meeting a need. It's meeting somebody's personal need. And so if we go that route, write letters, like old school things that they used to do. Let's see. I hear my boyfriend walking around down here. So let's see. So the tip is that I get clear. Either it's gel or get. If you don't cross the T, it's gel. It's get clear and creative about connecting during the coronavirus isolation. So get real clear about yourself. Just pick maybe one person that you perceive or you feel, that might have a need, and just connect with that one person. If we did this like worldwide, because we're all in this boat, there are so many people that would feel connected, would feel loved, and that they're cared about. So connect with one person, get clear about what you can do for yourself, get creative about it. This is a great time. This slow season is a great time. And Rose, you mentioned that in your comment, that somebody else called it the slow season too. Yeah, it is. How many times have we said, if I had time to do this, I would, ... Well, you have time, ... do it. So, and I am so excited because since I turned in the collection, then I have several projects that I want to do that I haven't had time for. Not really. I just have prioritized them after this. That I'm going to be able to now do. And so I'm super excited. There's some things coming up in the next few months that I really am excited about. And, part of me was business things I'm talking about in particular. Part of me was like, everything's going to be terrible. The economy is going to be awful. We know it. If nobody's saying it, it's just because we don't want to hear it. We don't want to deal with it. But that's the fact. That's the fact of the matter. When you have something worldwide and places shutting down worldwide, it can't help but affect our economy. So part of me was going, well, what's the point now? But I'm just trying to now think and make some shifts because it's not like we're going to stop living. Yeah, it's going to be rough, but we're not going to stop living. And so we can address those things. We can use, our creative brain and figure out how we're going to do things. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make some shifts, but we're going to keep living, and we're going to keep doing things, and we're going to keep investing in ourselves and investing in others. And we're going to be fine, because we will adjust. Every generation adjusts to what is happening, and we step up. So that's the tip, is to get creative about really connecting with somebody. Have one person you connect with, and maybe help one person that you feel could use your help being connected to you. So Remember, you have a creative heartbeat, so listen for it. It will help you to, come up with ideas. Link, like, and share this, and I will be back tomorrow. So, bye for now.